Good morning, and welcome to our HiED Coffee Break. This is one of several activities that we're having over the next 2 weeks to celebrate National Computer Science Education Week. Today's session is not only sponsored but hosted by HiED, a new software application that's being used for workforce development with both our high schools, colleges, and then also throughout industry. Today's speakers are Dewan Walker as well as Bo Morgan, and they will speak to you about not only their product, but how it can be used for workforce development. If you have any questions, feel free to enter your questions in the chat window, and I'll ask them either throughout the presentation or at the very end. Now over to you, Dewan.
Thank you, Sharice. We're excited about being here this morning. HiED is a hyper-individualized education design. It's a web-based platform that's the first of its kind. That's a GMS, a guidance management system. I'm going to share my screen and walk you over to show you exactly what HiED is and how it is assisting students across the state of Alabama and beyond. The website is HiEDGMS.com. On this website, everything that this system provides, it's all web-based, so it can be accessed from any kind of device, iPhone, iPad. As long as you have internet, you can access this information. The things that we are attacking as far as education is concerned, this platform is connecting K-12, 2-year, 4-year colleges, and delivering students to the workforce. With this system, no one enters data. This data is transferred either one of two ways, through a CSV file or through an API. Once the students have logged in, they will be prompted to log in, and there's 5 different components that this software consists of: the academic component, athletic component, comp result, the market, and virtual life. The academic component, what it does, once a student or parent log in, they will select that component, and it shows them exactly where this student is for graduation requirements. Now, these graduation requirements are customized per school. We serve schools and school systems. So what it shows them is an overall performance, exactly where they are as far as their transcript information. Students today have things that they have in their hand is their report card, progress report, test scores. Students never have an opportunity to view their transcript. What this system does, it translates their transcript to make it simple to understand, where parents, administrators, students are all looking at the same information that builds transparency from school to home. This is the overall summary for the student. It gives them their overall weighted GPA, and it goes down in details as you see as follows. English, students must have 4, have completed 3, still need 1. Math, the student has 4, must have 3 is required, still needs 1. Science, must have 4, the student has completed 2, still need 2. Social studies, must have 4, this student has 3, still need 1. And uncategorizes any courses that's not a core. Those are your electives, your CTE courses, foreign languages, and fine arts. But these are all uncategorized, where students must have a minimum of 8. The student has completed 3.5, still needs 5.5. Total for the state of Alabama, students have to have 24 credits, 14.5 the student has received, the student still need 9.5 credits. Down below it details it out for the students in the 9th grade. This was the course, this was the grade received. 10th grade, 11th grade, and so on. The tab below that shows the courses that is offered at that school. Again, this is customized per school, so courses are different from school to school. If it's shaded, that means that student has completed those courses. Same thing for math, 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade, and these are the This is being displayed at the top, the credits that is earned, that's received, and still needed. Same thing for science. 9th grade, 10th grade, and so on. These are all the sciences customized for this school. If they have completed, it shades it in green. Social studies, same. And at the bottom, these are the uncategorized we talked about earlier. Uncategorized is any of your life or kinesiology courses that is needed. These must have one. The student still needs that course. Health must have a half credit of health. Career prep must have a whole credit of career prep. And also your CTE courses, foreign language or fine arts. In any combination, the student must have 3 to complete requirements for graduation requirements. Electives, a student can only use up to 2.5 credits of electives. If a student have for some reason failed the course, it shows up in red. Again, this is a system that tracks for all students, and it starts tracking in the 9th grade, and this is transcript information. Now, this tab is for 4-year colleges. For instance, these are the colleges in Alabama for 4-year. If you look over here to the left, it shows the college. Over to the right, it color codes it for admission. If they meet the minimum requirements, let's say, for instance, this is the overall weighted GPA. This is the test score. Admissions for this student, this is the GPA, and this is the test score. Once they meet those requirements, starting in the 9th grade, it turns green or it remains red. Once they meet that requirement, it goes to green. On the right is the minimum academic scholarship requirement. Once they meet this number, it also shades it to green. So this is very important for parents and students to be able to track starting in the 9th grade. Over on the left, for instance, if you look at some of the schools over on the left, let's use Auburn University of Montgomery. If they select that, it takes it to that school's website. So then they can go in and look at those website pages. And this is for that college's scholarship. The other tab is the 2-year schools, Alabama Community College System. So with that tab, these are all 24 2-year schools. With these schools, if you would select these schools, it will take you to that school's webpage. However, this shows you the admissions requirements. As long as this student have a high school diploma or GED, that's why it's pending, but it's green showing that they're on track to have that requirement. Over here, this is scholarship, so it takes you to that school's scholarship page. So for instance, you select Trenton, it will take you to that school's webpage, their home page. Now, if you select the scholarship, it takes you to that scholarship page for that school. So you can look at the different scholarships available for that school, okay? Now, this is for every student. One of the other components is the athletic component. Once a student selects athletics, what it does, it tracks students' eligibility for Division I and Division II. This is the core GPA for a specific student. With the core GPA, and the core GPA is any course with just your cores, English, math, science, social studies, or your foreign language, is only calculated in this GPA that's used on this sheet. This system and the algorithms give students the best opportunity for eligibility for Division I and Division II. So what you're witnessing here is the ACT scores. This scores that it shows the score, also shows you the composite score and the sum score. This system super scores that test for you. If you have more than one score system, that means it will give you the best possible opportunity for eligibility. This is a summary for NCAA eligibility. This box is one of the most boxes on this whole athletic sheet right here. If you look at this, you would see that this system, the total core courses, the student has to have 16 for minimum. The NCAA has what they call a 10-7 rule. 10 of the 16 must be completed prior to the 7th semester. 7 of those 10 must be completed in English, math, or science prior to the 7th semester. Due to COVID, the NCAA waived the test score this fall for all incoming freshmen. However, they upheld the 2-point rule and the 10-7 rule. This starts tracking students in the 9th grade to make sure they're on track. Now down here, it details it out for you on the worksheet. In English, students must have 3, must have 4. If completed 3, still need 1. Math, students must have 3. This student has met all of the requirements for math. Science must have 2. This student has met the requirements. And they must have 1 additional English, math, or science. This student still needs that 1 additional. And in social science, students must have 2. The student has obtained that requirement. And then they must have 4 additional core courses. Now the 48H, this system pulls the 48H from the NCAA portal to give them the best opportunity for eligibility here. So for instance, on this student, in this school, it shows you all English that would go towards eligibility. If it's shaded, that means they have completed it. Same thing for math, science, social studies, and then any foreign language that goes towards eligibility. Eligibility is determined on a sliding scale. The sliding scale is made up of the sum score and the core GPA. This is what the sliding scale looks like. This sliding scale is for Division I, Division II full qualifier, and Division II partial qualifier. So with that score, let's look at this student's GPA. With that student's GPA, the sliding score shows them, with that 2.4, they have to have a 71 sum score. That's the sum of the 4 subtests of the score. We know that this student has a 72. So with that 72, this student can't have below a 2.38 GPA. Benchmark shows us exactly that with that 2.4, student has to have a 71. With a 72, they have to have a 2.38. Now, that's a lot to grab onto and to really harness and understand. So what this system does, it color codes eligibility for students. So whenever they log in, they would look here to see what color this is. If it's red, they're off track for eligibility. If it's yellow, they're on track for eligibility. If it's blue, like you see this here, if it's blue, that means they are pre-qualified. They have come to balance on that sliding scale we just looked at. And if it's green, that means they have come to balance on the sliding scale and they have met all 16 requirements for the credits earned. Now, they also have an athletic tutorial that they can witness here. That's a video that talks about all the things that I'm telling you now and more. Now, it also will throw up flags for any student that is an automatic redshirt or a student that may be EAQ, an early academic qualifier, and they're coming out of high school early to go to the next level a semester early. So those are 2 other components. One of the other components is ComResult. ComResult is a system a component that pulls data for systems for administrators, shows them exactly overall where their school is performing. It also interprets students' career pathways, CRI testing. If they have completed the CRI testing to make sure career indicator-wise, what are they, whatever they are making sure that they have passed all the credentialing used for CRI. The market is another component. The market, what it does, it's a third-party subscriber. This is where 2-year schools, 4-year schools enter the market to track students, to pair students that are on different career pathways. Due to COVID, virtual school is something that we see often now. And with the market, we can now recruit virtually. So 2-year schools, 4-year schools can now track students and message students to make sure they know all the different requirements for schools and any offerings those schools might have for students. So this is a third-party subscriber for outside sources and outside education, higher level education to access students and to make sure that they can track those students and have communication. with those students. Due to FERPA, the pathway to K-12 students will be through the parents. Their parents have to give grant permission, and all of that is done through this platform. The last component, virtual life is a component that allows students to live life virtually. So whenever students access the virtual life platform, they have to go in and explore the 16 career clusters. Once they explore the clusters, let's say, for instance, I wanted to go into the field of education. If I choose that, I will receive a paycheck. Once I receive a paycheck, I will then have to start building a profile. Do I want to rent my house or buy my house? Well, we default everyone to rent so we can teach them how to purchase a home. Do I want new car, used car, cell phone? Yes, everything we have to have in life, they have to build a profile and have to decide if they want it or not. They also have to pay bills daily. They have to log in and pay bills, and they can access that from any kind of mobile device. This system, the algorithms, is to attack the students just like life attacks us. So through the virtual life, they will log in and mishaps can happen at any moment. It may tell me that a tree fell on my house. Well, if I didn't have renter's insurance, that's going to cost me. So those type things are things that you will witness in the virtual life, and it gives grades to the student as well. Now, the middle of the wheel is InfoLink. InfoLinks allow students to access their FAFSA and start the FAFSA process. If they want to register for the ACT, you can register for direct. It will take you to that link. If you want to, ACT testing dates, eligibility center. Again, this is only a tool, so students still have to go through and access their eligibility center, and they can access that directly through this portal. Overall, this system is, again, to connect all the dots from K-12, 2-year, 4-year schools, and also able to deliver students to the workforce. That's our goal. That is what we do. And, right now we have actually have a pilot with LBW. We're now onboarding 2-year college students where they can track themselves towards degree completion, and they can also be tracked by businesses. So it's going to lend opportunities to deliver our goal. Again, on this platform, we want to deliver our students and transition them to their career goals. So I'm open to any questions, and we can address that at this time.
I had one quick item that I'd like you to at least expound on some, Jawan. With the community college system and the ability to track students, but then also look at workforce development areas, what have some of the discussions been like from an industry standpoint and the ability to identify kind of target industries and target areas with those community colleges?
Great question. For the first time, our service now, the algorithms is identifying students in specific career pathways, and the workforce have specific needs. Now what we're seeing is workforce are looking for, from welders to you name it. They have specific industries that they're looking for specific skills. Well, now our system is breaking that down and interpreting it for the workforce where they can now find those specific students that completed those requirements. The CRI testing is a big indicator to tell them what their credentialing are in. And really excited about that, especially at the 2-year college level. In whatever specific field these students are in, we are able to pair them directly. So again, for the first time, we now have a platform that the 2-year college system can not only just recruit from K-12, also invite them onto their schools and then deliver them to the workforce through one platform.
Great, thank you for that. A second question that I have with respect to it. I know you've been working with MPS and at least Lee High School local to Montgomery. What other school districts are you working with, be it in the state of Alabama? And do we have the ability to leverage other districts, or is it really a regional zoning that you have?
Yeah, right now we're in 24 schools throughout the state. That's 10 different school districts. And as far as north, we've gone to Birmingham, and it's Birmingham and below right now. It's actually have a few schools down in the Mobile area and in between. So yeah, and what we're doing with the pilot with LB Wallace, they're actually um, are trying to acquire this for all the different counties that border their school. So that's 8 high schools total. So that would, obviously bring that number up. But it's very important that those K-12 students are on the software, so then they can benefit from it at the 2-year college level. And as far as the workforce, we're opening it up for all industries. We will have a virtual career fair in January for the students of Montgomery Public Schools. And this is a virtual career fair we're having. We're actually sponsoring HiED, and we're partnering with class, and we are going to partner. We're going to have these students into these different career pathways so they can specific target these students and let them know, number one, bring awareness to this job. And number two, we're looking for job opportunities for students that want to go directly from school to work, and also from schools to 2-year schools and 4-year schools. So this is a career fair that we're really excited about. We're going to start it with Impact, and then we will go beyond and have the entire school system a part of the career fair.
How does someone on the college side, from the collegiate, be it admissions or even on an enrollment side, do they have the ability to participate in that career fair?
Absolutely, absolutely. We are actually in the process of reaching out now and gaining interest, and it's totally free. This is something we want to offer for our students to have this opportunity. And so on our platform, you'll be able to give offerings and bring awareness to your school and to the different programs that you have. And a lot of these students are now looking at it and seeing exactly what courses they need to take, as obviously helping with dual enrollment and things like that, where these courses will go directly into your school. So yeah, the pairing is great, and we would definitely be reaching out. And we also would love for you to reach out to us if you have any questions. Our email is HiED, HIED, at hiedgms.com.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Dewan. Really appreciate you not only giving more light and shedding more light on what HiED is and how it's actually being used, not just across the state in Birmingham, but certainly how it could be used in Montgomery. I know with us having a number of colleges that are here, but I think what's very important to me is to highlight the fact that you are leveraging technology and leveraging a software platform to make these connections. And I think that's something that we're starting to see a lot more of, where individuals are taking advantage of virtual platforms and of software applications to start to connect the dots. So not only do I appreciate you guys joining us today, really appreciate the work that you're doing from an education and from a technology perspective.
And thank you. We want to thank Tech MGM for all the great work you do and for having this platform available so we can bring more awareness. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. So we will definitely make sure that our recorded session is posted so that individuals have an opportunity to still learn and hear from Dewan and the great things that are happening at HiED. And if anybody has any additional questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me or to Dewan and his team. And if not, we will see you at future activities that we have as we celebrate National Computer Science Education Week. Thanks a lot for joining us today, and have a wonderful weekend.